Yeah, it had every bit of a conference battle that you would think. The message to the team in the locker room was, this is what a conference win looks like. It's ugly. It's slimy. It feels dirty. You don't feel great. You feel like you played terrible. But that's what happens when a team you've played, under this coach now at least 10 times. They've got a pretty good idea what we want to do. So they take some things away and force you into really limiting your options. And again, I thought they made some fantastic adjustments. Now, with that being said, we figured they were going to make some adjustments. It's going to open up some other things. And it did. Today, our right sides didn't have the day that they had yesterday. That had a lot to do with how Tulane was blocking us, but it opened up the left sides. Our plan is not to set McKenna Melville 67 times in a 4-set match. That's ridiculous. But it's what we had, it's what they gave us. And, thank goodness she's on our side of the net, because for her to go out there, take 67 swings and only have 5 errors is pretty special. 27 kills on it, 2 blocks, the aces, the leadership. But this was by far, it was not a one-person win. Just like last time, there's going to be a lot of things that don't show up in a box score that really made the difference in the match. Yeah, there's some individual performances, Catherine serving, McKenna hitting, Narissa blocking. Those are the things you see on the stat sheet. But there's a lot of hidden things: the right back defense, off block defense, touching balls to make easier transitions, communications. I thought we got better at our blocking today than what we were yesterday. So we made a lot of adjustments too. And I give Tulane credit for making the adjustments they needed to make, but I thought Brian and Jenny did a fantastic job of making the adjustments based on the adjustments we thought they would make. And, fortunately, we were good when we had to be. We weren't good all the time, but that's conference. It's not going to be smooth sailing all the way through. Yeah, you're just going to have to find ways to climb back and put yourself in a position to win. And when it's there, take it. And that's what happened.
Throughout the week, we've talked about the slow starts. You get the win in the first set. What was different today?
Well, I think offensively, we didn't start slow. We were firing on all cylinders early. 19 kills that first set, 19 kills out of 25 points. Usually you get 6 or 7 from your opponents, at least. Then a couple blocks, maybe an ace or something like that. But we had to have 19 kills to win that first set. And that was a 25-18 set. So they gave us nothing. We had to go out there and we had to score everything for ourselves. I think they only gave us 4 points total. That's, insane. And so we did not start slow. We just didn't defensively. I don't think that we were as good today as what we want to be. We're going to learn a lot on the defensive side of the ball from this match. They were really good. We buckled down at the very end of that first set, but they were out hitting us or tied with us. And then we asserted ourselves kind of at the end of the set to pull away. But that first set set the tone that it was going to be a battle all the way through. There was going to be nothing easy. In my mind, I had this is a 5-setter written all over it. It's going to be like 17-15 in the 5th set. I hope we're on top.
And it might have been if you didn't pull that comeback in that 3rd set. Take me through that. That was incredible for me. It reminded me of the Cincinnati Conference Championship match in that 3rd set where you came back behind. It looked like you're going to be dropped the set and you won it. Today was the same thing. Great serving and some great playing there. Pull it out and win.
Right. I think the difference was in that Cincinnati match, it was one of those things where you knew where the ball was going to go, except it was going to go to an Olympian. And so you had to just find some way to stop it. And then Anne-Marie stepped up and just, put Jordan Thompson in a phone booth and stuffed her right off the floor. This was much different. That run took Kat serving, a strong block, great defense, good transition swings, got a couple of breaks from them, but we had to go out and earn a lot of those. I think we earned 5 of those 7 points that we got. So, it's one of those things we probably shouldn't have won that set, but that's what I love about this game. I mean, that's why you compete. You compete because you're never out of it. You make a play here, you make a play there, you have a chance to come back and put yourself in a position to win. That's what we did. We went out, we just kept stringing plays together. And fortunately, they couldn't get that one break that they needed to. We've been on that end of things before. And it's a good feeling to go and string that many points together when your back's against the wall.
Are you able to see the growth that you've expected from 5 matches ago, start of the season? Now you've 5 matches in. Do you see growth of certain players, progress over the course of those 5 matches?
Not even so much players, but of the team. We got tested this weekend. We had talked about being tested yesterday. And today we were really tested. We were behind. This match could have went to 5 sets. We had a team that was playing very consistently, doing things that we knew they were going to do, and we couldn't do anything about it. And what I learned was the toughness and the resilience. That's a word that we used a lot with this team last year. They were just an iron bar and they would never crack. And now we're starting to show those signs of just that, having that toughness when it's tied late, or even when we're down late, we need points. Having that toughness and that mental fortitude to just not quit. A lot of teams quit, give up. Neither one of these 2 teams did that. They made us go out there and take it. And I'm proud of our team for going out there and doing it.
How much of that too is that championship DNA you have on your team there, that they've been through those battles, know what it's like in those big matches, and know that, hey, maybe on days that things aren't going well, they find a way to get that result?
I think it's a team that expects to win. And I think when you're a team that expects to win versus hopes you win or thinks you can win, I think you're a different team. Now, it's a team that understands it's the chances of going undefeated in the year are pretty small. But it's a team that expects to win every set of every match and then win the match. And you're right, that is baked into the DNA. It's a tenet that's held very closely by the upperclassmen, passing it down to the younger ones, and they're starting to get what it feels like. I don't care if you don't feel good or you're not playing well or whatever, you perform for your teammates. And that legacy is being passed down quickly, and they're starting to get a taste of it. And really, this weekend was the first taste for a lot of younger players of going up against a team that just wasn't going to let you have the match. You have to go steal it.
Took care of business at home. Now the team hits the road. McKenna said, you're going to have to bring the energy. Each player is going to have to bring the energy. You're not going to have the home crowd, the fans behind you. What's the challenge, especially for the younger players, of hitting the road, and the advantage of having that Tuesday match now before you head out on conference play on the weekend?
Yeah. Being on the road is a challenge, especially for the younger players, because there's a very specific regiment that we go through when we're on the road. That's going to change because of COVID protocol. So we're going to have to, kind of work into that. On the road during conference on a Sunday, on the Saturday before, we usually do a serve and pass and then a walkthrough together, and then we just go play the match on Sunday. But we're driving up there the same day we're playing. So we're going to do our serve and pass and our walkthrough the same day we play.
I mean, what did you see offensively that was working from a serving standpoint, and maybe defensively as well? Not, serve, because that was kind of really one of the bigger differences in the match. It was a pretty even match. You get some free points that way.
Yeah, but I think both days were the same thing. I think the serve and pass game was the difference. However, I thought they were a lot better today overall. To be honest with you, the 11 aces is a surprise to me, because a lot of times when we have those 11 aces, maybe 3 or 4, I expected, hey, we could get an ace on this if we execute this right. The other ones were just, wow. Some of them were missed. We missed our serving zone and still got the ace. It was nice to have the 11 aces. I'm not sure we earned all 11. And, Tulane is traditionally a very good passing team. And they're going to continue to get better. I mean, take the aces out, and they were passing ball for ball with us. I thought we were great in serve receive today. I was really happy. Both days, I thought we were great in serve receive. But yeah, no, I can't explain the 11 aces. I'd like to think it was because we were serving tough, and we were serving tough. They're a better ball control team than that. I think we might have just caught them maybe leaning one way or another or something, but who knows what plays into that. But yeah, you take those out, and this really is a toss-up match. I can't sit here and say we're better than Tulane. And I don't think they can sit there and say they're better than UCF. I'm sure they can sit there and say, hey, we can beat UCF. And they're right. They can. Didn't happen this weekend, thank goodness. We executed when we had to. The Aces were a surprise. And we didn't have a typical UCF offensive day, but that was because of them. They made us not do well. Fortunately, the blocking game and the serving game came up big, and it's really what put us over the top. Because other than that, you're pretty much statistically a dead heat.
Yeah, that was even. That's why that was so critical, getting those 3 points in a tight match like that. And also helps to have the best player on the court, McKenna. Obviously, I know you said you don't want to use her that often, but when you have to, she's there for you and delivered nearly a season high and nearly a career high. But also I've noticed vocally was with talking to her players, more vocal. She says she's always been vocal, which you can confirm, she says. But I've noticed her being more vocal with the players maybe than past years because maybe she's one of the veterans now, whereas before she wasn't.
Yeah, I think, when you have a Jordan Pingle on the team, you have a Mackenzie Kuchmaner on the team, fifth-year players, or Christina Fisher, there's only so much space to get words in. And I think, McKenna is a student of the game, with her mom being one of the top high school coaches in Minnesota. She's been studying volleyball since she can remember, 6, 7 years old. So she knows. As a matter of fact, there was a pivotal point during that run where McKenna mentioned to me, why don't you try this? And I thought about it. I said, no. And I said, you know what? Let's do it. And it ended up being the difference of the set. She made that call. It's like having a coach on the field or on the floor saying, I think this will work if we do this. And, I let her make the call. I trust her to make recommendations. Now, I don't take every recommendation from her, but that was the right call at the right time. And that made a big difference in that comeback. So, no, she does. She rallies the troops. She's got good things to say. She never gives up. She wears her heart on her sleeve. Most of the times that's good. Sometimes it's not so good. We have to talk about it. But she's clearly the leader of this group. Now, the professionals on the team are going to take the feedback or the criticism and they're going to go forward with it and do good things. The ones that aren't or a little more insecure aren't going to take it as well. And unfortunately, they're going to fall behind because she's out there doing what a leader does on a team that has big aspirations, and she's leading. And she's holding herself accountable. She's holding her teammates accountable. She's willing the team to win, a lot like what Jordan Pingle did. And a good team, a team that has a chance at championships, has to have one of those that is believable, not lip service, believable. All set, guys?
All good. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much. Thanks for being with us this weekend. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Safe travels.